Okay, was that the button I needed to hit? Waiting for things to happen. Okay, here we are. Cool. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. We're going to be, once again, painting Katarina, and I'm just going to cover over some of the things we went over in the first stream, because it wasn't that good. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright. You guys should be able to see my audio, my video. Everything should be good. Yeah. Alright, so one of the things we did was when we brought the model to Substance Painter, we actually baked the AO and the position map as well. So we'll do that both at the same time because you can. So we did the AO and the position, and then we can change our texture setting for that, for how high res we want it. So I think for now we're just going to put it to 1024, and then, oops, click the wrong button, and then bake selected textures. You can see it did it pretty fast. And then now, when we go in here and say, by the way, I alt-clicked and hit color, and that basically deselects everything except color. And then we threw on the ambient occlusion, oops, wrong one. And then that's how we kind of got started with the base layer. Then we added a filter, gradient, and then like color pick, whatever here. And then I created new fill layers and then black mask, and change my brush here, paint that, copy the gradient and the ambient occlusion, then we change that color. And that's how we were able to create masked layers, so we can start like layering stuff. Okay, so there's that. I actually, before the stream, I corrected the model so that these boots were not mirrored UVs. I think that was about it. A little bit different. Yes, the boots are going to be a little bit lower res texture, but I mean, I don't think it really matters that much, especially with the League of Legends top-down view. Another thing to note about that is that you would want like the top portion of your model to be higher quality. So those would be much bigger UVs, and then the lower portion much smaller. So there we go. So now let's get painting. There should be no delay with the chat. So I'm going to continue with the hair. I'm actually going to pull up a reference for that. Where's my hand painted? Hand painted. Two pixel brushes? Well, that's pretty small. Alright, and let's get painting. I actually prefer to paint hair in Photoshop because I feel like I have a lot more control with smudging and stuff. I might do that actually. Let's export our texture. And let's do some Photoshop painting.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha,
So we
Okay,
switched to Tide Free
and
and
I need
Light.
this
Tide cleans
out of the way.
better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
A lot of
Plus,
time
Tide Free
spent.
and Light
Yeah.
has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Yeah, I usually like to work from big to small
It's got to be
with
clean.
my
It's
brushes
got
and
to be
block out.
powdery and gentle.
I'm getting
So if you don't
vaccinated with
already do
Prevnar
that, it's
20.
probably
So am I,
something you
because I'm at risk for
should
pneumococcal
consider.
pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions
Grab
like asthma,
my
diabetes, COPD,
wonderful
or heart disease,
brush.
or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for
The
pneumococcal
opening
pneumonia.
ceremony just got
Ask your
used.
doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20,
Oh,
pneumococcal
for League.
monovalent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just
Is it
one dose.
the
Even if you have
world
already been
ceremony?
vaccinated with
What
other
is it?
pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection.
Why am I
Prevnar
thinking
20
that?
is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get
Hmm.
Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include
Okay,
pain
let's see.
starting at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full
Never
prescribing
die live
information, call
stream.
1-855-213-2138
Oh,
or
interesting.
visit Prevnar20.com.
What is that about? Oh, Legends never die live stream for the first time. Wait, why? That's weird. Is it really? I don't know. I mean, can you change the hair value? Because I'm calling it more reddish orange. I decided to do more pink because the Wild Rift version, like the in-game model, has it kind of pinkish, which I kind of like. And the reason behind that was like, I think it makes Katarina more unique compared to the other Noxians. Let's check it out here. Here's the Wild Rift model, the in-game version. It had like pink highlights. And then also like this piece of artwork that they did for, it was one of the seasons, it was the same season where they did the Assassin rework. And this was like Katarina there. But you can see she kind of has like pinkish highlights. Obviously that's because she's in shadow. Um, and colors are a lot cooler in shadows. But I kind of like it. I feel like the orange reddish hair is kind of too cartoonish. Um, I don't know. I mean, we could change it later on down the road. I'm not like too overly committed to it. We'll see how it looks. I mean, I saw it in game and it looked nice. Which, by the way, I will do another like in-game test again so you guys can see what we did. So let me get my reference here. Watched the very first live. Yeah, I mean, it was rough. But thank you, I appreciate it. Oops. Oh wait, this is not gonna let me see the size. Okay. Usually I like to render out like the hair and the face as much as possible, or as quickly as possible, like early in the phase, the retexturing phase, because um, I want to be able to like get the read of like, does this look like that champion as soon as possible? Because everything else, I mean, like the clothes and all that, isn't really as important to the champion's identity in a way. So like how you render it, like it's going to be the same if you render, like for example, Viego also has a leather jacket. Like that's not really what distinguishes him from Katarina, and I'm not going to be rendering the leather differently from those champions. But obviously the face and like the hair is like one of those things that really separates each champion. So I want to get that early read. I like to make my smudge brush a little bit stronger here to kind of get like really pronounced highlights. I thought he was doing comic book version for Zan, because the comic she almost has. Yeah, she does. Are those details? Yeah, we'll be seeing the game. You'll see once we do our test. I might do it early on in the stream, so we can see where we're at and where we need to be. First world. I like to keep this pretty rough here, just because I also need to see it in the 3D. Kind of playing around with the smudging. I don't know if I like the shadow color too much. So I'm gonna flatten this, save, then go back to here, and I need to import the texture. Project, get rid of the paint layer, and this one. Okay, so before and then after. Yeah, much better. I mean, that's not bad for now. I'm gonna go to the leather, I think. I want to get some progress there. This isn't mirrored, right? Yeah. Add a little bit of a yellowish tint, and then get like a little bit of bounce. Not too pronounced though. Like just to lighten up those shadows a bit. What digital tablet am I using? I'm using a Wacom Bamboo CTH 460. I had a much worse tablet that was literally like you just plug it into the computer and it works. I don't like when you have wireless tablets because I feel like it's prone to a lot more errors. And it's really annoying. I just want to be able to plug in my tablet and start drawing. I would much prefer like a Cintiq because I heard their tablets are better than Wacom. I don't know, my experience with Wacom has not been that great. I had like a really like a PTH 650, I think. Wait, let me look that up. Make sure that's the right one. PTH 650. Yeah, this gigantic medium-sized tablet. And one day it just decided to stop working after I did an update. And I contacted the support and they were like, well, did you run all the updates and stuff? And I said, yeah. And they're like, well, get a new tablet. It was baffling. It wasn't even that old. It was like couple years at most. This tablet I've had for years. I just think they're very unreliable. Bamboo series are solid, yeah. Okay, need to follow the concept here. I might just render this out like as much as possible. I usually like to focus on the top part of the champion's body because, I mean, that's the one we see the most quality in. I think I might actually want to make this highlight a bit more yellow. And bring in some warm tone. Things change. Now it's not the same. No, it's true. Life's better with me. I love Newton Mount. I'm so cute. Nice. I render out some of the dark parts more. I see she has like trim here. Okay, and then leads to that middle part, which I'll have to do later. Okay. Bring some of that warm color. I think it's always important to, whenever you're doing creases, you lay down the dark color and then immediately follow it up with the bright color. And that'll help really define the edge. Which is exactly what I'm doing right now. Nice. And then I'm gonna go back and do some more dark parts. I'm actually gonna create another layer just in case I make a mistake. I don't wanna like lose all this really nice rendering that I did. like that. And then goes down to our stripey, whatever this thing is. Actually, no, I don't like that. There we go. And then there. Nice. Actually get dark value here. Okay, and then once again, let's grab our brightest color and push that. I'm gonna grab like a mid-tone and then like blend it. Get back that dark color. There we go. Looks good. Define this edge here. It's not going to be exactly like the concept, unfortunately, because I'm a terrible modeler. But it's fine.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
It's not a
So
big
am
deal.
I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes,
And then I'm
COPD,
going
or heart
to
disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased
grab the
risk for
mid-tone,
pneumococcal
kind of
pneumonia.
like
Ask your doctor or pharmacist
blend it
about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal
like
20
that.
valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one
There we
dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent
Okay,
infection
and it's
from
actually really
viruses
bothering me
that
that we don't
can
have
cause
the
pneumococcal pneumonia. Continue
metal
herbal
piece in
maintenance
there,
methods
so let's go
instead.
ahead and
Don't get Prevnar
add
20
that.
if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened
It's a
immune
very
systems may have
interesting
a lower
shape.
response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site,
Also,
fatigue,
okay,
headache,
no.
muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad
Mine's
who's
like
trying
stick
hard
out
to
a
win a
little
game.
bit,
Go for the end zone.
Whoops.
and then
Luckily, other things come easy,
kind of
like banking
curves.
with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up autosave in the Chase
Goes
mobile
back
app.
to a
So what are
straight
you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
line.
Smart bankers, convenient tools, one bank with the power of both. Visit
Make it a little bit
chase.com/checking.
bigger.
Chase, own more of what's yours.
Autosave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select
Might need to
models.
correct the model a little bit so that it doesn't like deform like that, but that's okay. We'll worry about it later. Get rid of the fill, and then let's grab our dark metal color. I like to work from dark to light. I feel like it makes the most sense. Some people are the opposite way, but that's just how I work. Okay. I want to keep that line in the middle. I wonder what this piece represents. It has an edge. Okay. And then I'm going to grab its darkest value. I might need to make it darker, just to make sure it really pops out. I'm also going to do a slight dark edge here. No. Okay. And yeah, I think the metal's a little too blue. Where did I get that blue color from? Everything is gray. Maybe what I'll do is grab the HSL layer filter and desaturate just a little bit. Because I still want that bluish tint, just not as strong. And then I'm actually going to color pick from, actually, I have this swaying texture map here. I'm going to grab the brightest color or value, and we're just going to start mapping out those highlights for the metal. This is like three-piece shoulder armor, so I'm just doing enough to like help myself indicate those separations. That. I usually try to color pick from my references of League of Legends stuff as much as possible because, you know, I want the character, once they finally get in game, to feel consistent with everybody else. If I just go in here and like color pick my own stuff, then I might have to go back and make a lot of corrections to make it feel consistent. Consistency with the stuff that exists in the game is really important. But yeah, sometimes I do take liberty to like make my own color decisions. Like I did with adding the yellow to the leather. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask, as always. And I'm actually going to pull up concept here. I feel like I've heard this song 1,000 times. Okay. When I did this particular emblem, or brooch, I guess, whatever it's called, I actually traced it from like an Oxys icon from Riot. I traced it in Maya with the Polycreate tool. So that's how I was able to get like pretty accurate shape. I'm wanting to define the edges here. Obviously that's the most important. Everything else in between is not necessary to keep the same value, same brightness. There's actually an eyeball there. I'm just gonna trace around that and do a very slight. Oh, I think it's fine. Is this stream like much better than yesterday? Like when I do these turns and stuff, it's not as laggy. pretty smooth. Should be much smoother. Apparently I was streaming at like 4K, which you're not supposed to do. So I switched it down to 1920, 1980p. Yeah, much better. Nice. Good, good, good. So now, I don't know, I'm focusing on... Oh, thank you, Harpy. Okay. Yes. Alright, thank you guys. It's really good to hear. Okay, and I'm gonna do a little highlight here. And then kind of blend this. Cool. Very good to hear. Okay, let's do the highlight here. Riot likes to do this type of rendering a lot, for metals especially. It's like they do, like, they'll do the highlight like this, and then they come in and grab like a midtone color, and do like a circular kind of shape to make the middle part like a bit skinnier, and then the edges wider. They do that a lot. Oops. Okay, so now let me turn off the wireframe. Let me zoom out. Should look okay. It's not really that great because of how detailed it is. But that's okay. I'm not worried about that right now. I think what I'm going to do is actually add some shadows to her face. I'm going to grab soft brush. Okay, it's being weird. This might not be a good color. Let me just erase it from her eye. Okay. I think I'll actually go in here and just paint it on the UV. And then, let's see, soft brush. Clean it up. It looks Gorgina. Thank you. Set that to multiply, and then soften the opacity. And actually, it needs to come out a bit more. Like there. Body texture. Yeah. Uh-oh. My mouse. Got the shadow in there. I don't want to pronounce it like too much because like in game with animations it kind of flip-flops up and down. But I think for right now we'll just export the texture and then we'll test it in game. Because when we did that yesterday, I'm pretty sure you guys saw none of it. It was really laggy. Yeah, I'm gonna work on a lot more on everything. But because we couldn't see anything like too much yesterday, I want to do that test today. See, my texture is over here. You see how the UVs change with the model? Because I kind of moved things around. Oh, I have to actually re-export the SKN, the in-game model, because I changed it. Okay, maybe we'll do that. Hopefully, like, it'll give me a hard time. Okay, so here's the rig. I'm gonna hide the bones, and let's grab. I put on my desktop, Katarina, and I need to reverse the normals because League has reverse normals for some reason. And then I'm gonna put this on a different layer. Grab this dagger. I'm just gonna very roughly position it as close as possible.
Looking for a place to grow and thrive in your career? The whole you belongs here at Advent Health. As a faith-based organization, we are reimagining healthcare, and we want
And
you
then
to
I
join
should
our
be able
team.
to.
You have unique skills, goals,
That's separate,
and
yeah.
plans, and we want to help you achieve
Mirror.
them. With our unique whole-person
Across the
benefits program,
x-axis.
we offer hours to members,
0.01.
competitive pay, and so much more. Find your place at Advent Health.
Okay, then I'm gonna delete this one.
JoinAdventHealth.com and make a difference in healthcare. That's
Merge, combine everything, merge.
As a nurse, your contributions
Soften
to
edges.
community
Not
health
necessary, but.
cannot be understated. At Columbus Regional Health, we
Okay, this
serve
is weird. I have
nurses like you
two-side lighting, but
in
it's not
career. While our nurses come from
lighting up the other
various
side.
backgrounds,
So let me make sure
interests, and specialties, we all share one
the
goal:
normals are the
compassionate,
correct
expert care
direction.
to our patients. Join our team and start the next
Okay,
chapter
they
of your
are.
nursing career at CRH. Visit
Why is it dark?
www.crh.care/recruitment to learn more.
It's correct, so. Then I'm gonna grab. I'm gonna delete the older one so I'm not confused. Okay, those are the old UVs. And that's new, okay. And delete by type, history, and then delete that group. Let's see, rigging, skin, bind skin, 0. And then I'm gonna go to my Katarina folder here. Oh wait, actually I'm going to create a new namespace because I'm gonna copy over the weights from the one that's in game right now. Okay. Copy skin weights, apply, and then delete that. Make sure the it has the proper material. I can't see it, there's too many. I don't remember what it's called. It might be main matte for her default skin. I'm not sure though. Are you gonna add the blood runes to her daggers? Yes, I will. I actually don't know what her main material is on the base skin, so I'm gonna pull up from Riot's her default skin. New, and I'm gonna drop this. And the default skin material is Katarina base map. Okay. Of course it didn't copy. Oh, it did. Okay. Make sure that's set. Alright. And let's delete the namespace history, or the namespace, and then when she moves, everything should look correct. Yeah. Go to my pose, and then I can export. Just in case, I'm going to copy over SK and SKL outside of the base folder. I like to do that as a safety net. Okay. And now we can run the skin. So where is ASU Katarina? Katarina ASU. Okay, found it. Okay, run. Let's pull up League of Legends. I'm just doing this because I want to show you guys like how it looks in game so far. And now we wait. Okay, there is a problem. Yikes. Yeah, that's why I decided to do the safety net here. Alright, it's just a bug that I'm having right now. So what I'm actually going to do is go back to yesterday's texture and show that, unfortunately. She's just bugging out like crazy. I think it was already yesterday's texture. Save. And then let's go back here and put that back in there. Unfortunate. Super unfortunate. Yeah, that's just one of those things where I have to do like troubleshooting to figure out. I think it's something to do with like too many bones, but it still lets me export. Yeah, this is fine. Let me decrease the volume a little bit. Alright, here she is. ASU Katarina. She's currently using the Battle Queen's skeleton and the animations, but we will be changing that because I want her to... I want that skin to still feel special. A little bit laggy, hold up. Okay. So here's some autos. Like this a lot better, like she feels a lot like more agile and smooth.
Without mercy. Unmatched. Better dead
Emotes.
than dull.
Her weighting is still a little bit
If
messed
you
up. I need to
run,
go in
you
there and
won't
actually
see me
polish it.
stab you.
But yeah, here's the result from yesterday's stream. Textures are pretty decent, I think, especially for like a rough blockout. But yeah, we'll continue doing a little bit more rendering for today. Let me get rid of this. I need to catch up on the chat. Are you gonna wear it? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, she looks pretty good. So, because Harpy specifically requested hair, let's work on that. We use a different brush here. And I'm going for the Wild Rift hair color. Did you guys like the pinkish tone for the end game that we saw? What do you think of that? Or do you still think, who was it that said that? That they wanted more orange tone? Was it Wig? Or Arago Goctis? Her signature beautiful misfortune. Who? Katarina. Yeah. Yes, bestie. She's the girly. She's the Noxian girly. Alright, I want to add some like darker strands here. And I want to make sure that I'm following the topology that I set, so that when you look at the model from different angles, it doesn't look all weird. It actually conforms to that mesh. I'm just roughly blocking out some darker, like, I don't know what that's called, but just like shadows in there, because, you know, I'm not too worried about like fully rendering it to the highest quality possible yet. I'm still in the blockout phase. I usually stay in this phase for a while. That's why I try to render everything like at the same level of rendering. I will fix her in-game model to actually, so we can view the new UVs, because otherwise it's going to be like misaligned, so we don't want that. But I will fix that off stream. We're just adding some depth to her hair. Does a part, my mouse acts weird. So I really want to define this area. It's kind of like the root of the hair. And the bang, because this part is like separate from the main hair and actually moves around separately, I want to make sure that we define that edge there. I think it's just cool. I have another opinion. Her dagger spray parts are blending into the darker part. Can you make the edges shiner? Yeah, I will. Not worried about rendering the daggers just yet. I like to focus on the actual character and then I focus on the weapons later. But yeah, I will be doing that. Kind of roughly blocking things out. I wanted her hair to like curve there and then like come out like that. And then define that. Also bring some darkness here. And break up that shape. Okay. Okay, let's see what we did just now. So yeah, a little bit more rendered out now. Can better block out. Can actually see some depth in there. Break up in the shape. And it should feel consistent with Minigami's concept over here on the left. I actually want to sharpen the edge on these highlights. Hair looks pretty. Thank you. Yeah, I really like the way Minigami made the hair for the concept. It's like it makes sense that she would have this long flowing hair and not something that's like chopped up and rough. Yeah, I mean it's also a good contrast against her overall character. Because at least as far as we know of Katarina, she's lethal and she likes to show off, but she has a good heart. Like we saw with in the comic with Lux and Garen and how she feels for Demacia, but she has a duty to her own country. She's not like Darius or Draven or Swain, who are like they don't care. They're just all about bloodshed. They're out for blood. And then I'm just kind of going in and adding some darkness to get that kind of bell shape we talked about when rendering the metal. Just tighten up those highlights. And then we'll go back later and add the reddish mid-tone color to make that pop out more. Right now the hair is getting pretty dark, but again, I like to work from dark to light. And I'm going to grab my circle brush. I like to use this brush a lot. I think it's the best one to really round out that middle part of the highlight. Nice. So now when we view from afar, it looks pretty good. And I'm gonna add some more volume to this. Kind of flat. I don't want the end of the hair to be too bright, because obviously in game it's gonna like come down. Also, I will be wrapping up the stream here in a few minutes. I do really appreciate you guys popping in and giving me some company. Obviously, I can't showcase what we're doing right here in game because I need to fix the model. But yeah, it will be fixed for next stream. No worries. As far as I know, there's no more UV editing that I have to do, so should just be next time. I should just, whenever we change the texture, just go in game, and it should be fine. And I should be able to do that every time. Always, I like to hear math person. You should do more. Yeah, I definitely want to do some more streams working on different stuff too, not just Katarina. But I don't know what other skin I'm gonna do. I was working in collaboration with Emery Kun, I think is the name he goes by on Twitter, and Richie Draws on a concept for Fairy Court Braum. Because that's the next skin I feel like I really want to do. I don't really have any others in mind. There is a project I had to work on for a request, but I don't think I'll show that on stream. We'll see. So here I'm like actually kind of rendering the hair, how it would probably look in the final stage. Normally I like to do this in Photoshop when it comes to hair, but I'm just trying to block out as much as possible in the 3D so that in Photoshop, whenever I start painting in 2D, I don't have to worry about like, oh, where am I going to put the dark spots? Where am I going to put the bright spots? Because obviously I can't see it in 3D in Photoshop. But I do have a lot more control over this smudge and the blending in general. So yeah, I'm just gonna stay here for about 2 more minutes and then we'll wrap it up. Just rendering the hair as much as possible. And you guys can see that process. I love how this color looks compared to our original one with the bright red hair. Literally looks like a wig. Yeah. That's why I wanted to do like a pinker tone. Feels like a bit more natural, not like a Halloween, you know, wig. I'll be here for 1 more minute. Again, thank you guys for popping in the stream and checking out my process. Now let's check it out.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm
Let
at
me
risk
pause the
for
music.
pneumococcal.
Here we are. Here's the progress we made for today. I mean, it wasn't too much, but I'm gonna just take it easy for the first few couple streams. We did manage to really render this part out for like the corset or bra piece, whatever that's called. Rendered this metal bit a bit more, blocked out the metals here. We didn't really touch the lower half of the model. Obviously the hair, I feel like, is pretty far. Still some ways to go. And we did the shadow here, but yeah, that's about it for today, guys. Again, thank you for popping in, and come back for next time when we work on her more. And yeah, that's it. All right, bye-bye.